Hi guys, welcome back to Daren's Corner, and today I've got some updates for you in a short little video, and we'll go through the thrills and spills of what's to come and the things that I've got lined up new projects wise. And I've also at the bottom, towards the bottom right hand corner, look, just put in how many video ideas I've got lined up. That number will either get bigger, it will get bigger, because I've got more ideas after following this video. Excuse me. Following this video, I have some more ideas which I need to put to my reminder app and everything that comes along with it. So you can expect so much more from me in that retrospect, and you're going to be in for a treat. Now, let's start off with my animation corner. But I was on my iMac, and I was on my Windows laptop as well. Tried to go into Wrapper Offline, and it stopped working on my Windows 11 laptop. Now, I've looked at it on, because I've recently set up a virtual machine for Windows 7, and I've tested that out on 7, so because you get Internet Explorer as well, and I've installed Microsoft Edge alongside it. But if you use Internet Explorer to use Flash themes, you can get that to work. Also, if you use Flash themes on Internet Explorer, it will work. So that was that. And then I thought, you know what, let's try and do Wrapper Offline while I'm at it. So I downloaded version 9 of that and moved it over bits at a time, because I couldn't do the zip folder, it wouldn't go over. And I've tried to copy the whole folder, and I got file name too long error. So I then resorted to moving everything over bits at a time, and I got it to work. So following that, I've got some animated projects lined up, and I've also launched a brand new Plotagon series for my animation corner as well. So I've bought the subscriptions, and I've started working on an animation with that as well, so you can expect so on that side of things very soon. I'm going to be using my MacBook. Not going to be using my MacBook. I'm going to be using my iPad Pro for this. I've got the 2025 M5 iPad Pro, which I plan to use for that. Speaking of which, this is the one that I'm talking about. Some scratch marks on the back of this already. So the scratch marks or scuff marks. Oh, they're scuffs. This is the 5th gen M5 iPad Pro. There's no wording on the back, I've noticed. But I'll be using that for my Plotagon videos. Goodness, I need to give that a bit of a wipe. It looks all my fingerprints over that. So I'll give that a wipe as well. But also, I'm going to do those, and that will allow me then to keep my animation corner going just while I wait to renew my Vion subscription. But even after that, I still plan to use all the other platforms as well. Sorry, I've nearly choked on air then. Wow, things are going a bit awry for me. Now, with my computing corner, I have set up another couple of virtual machines. I've put Yosemite on one and named it my Apple corner, and I've put my Linux corner, I called it my Ubuntu corner, and put the latest system on that. So I've got Resolute Raccoon. Tell you what, these names that Linux come up for their Ubuntu systems, they are absolutely funny. I if you'd seen my earlier Linux videos, you'd see that I completely lost it at Breezy Badger. That's why I then put a blooper reel at the end of it. And yeah, I just completely lost it over Breezy Badger. I still do now, it's just so funny. But anyway, snap back to reality, Daren. Both the virtual machines will have 2 hard drives, one for the system itself and the other for any files that I might come up with. Both virtual machines will have two processor cores. Fuck, I can't speak. 2 processor cores and 4 gig of RAM. And that will allow me to then organise the different programs which I'm going to do for each one, and then see what I can use with each of the systems. Now, because I've got Resolute Raccoon, I should be able to run just about anything new. But with Yosemite, well, that's a different kettle of fish. But I'll keep you updated along the way as well, and let's keep tabs on what's going on. My coding corner, I'm now using Visual Studio 2026, and I'm on the Insider preview release, so I'll make sure to update that first before making any new videos. Now, my Mega app is behind my maths program, and I've also noted that they're sort of going in the same direction as each other, so what I might do actually is use my maths program to test out any new coding that I might have for any mathematical aspects that I may put into the Mega app. I might just use my maths program to do that, and then with that I can then just focus on one program rather than 2, particularly if they're both going in the same direction. It also means then I can brush up on what I did in my university dissertation when I did my computing degree. And then I'll use the Mega app for everything else, because I can add extra bits to it too. And I also plan to brush up on my C# skills, so I can then update the Photoscope app that I did while I was studying at university, same degree. I really enjoyed that time. Now, while I'm going to be going up to Rotherham soon, I'm going to spend 4 weeks with my mum. What I plan to do before I do that, so I've got my video ideas written down on my whiteboard, how many videos I've got planned. I'm going to do a spreadsheet. I'm either going to do a spreadsheet, or I'll do a Word document to then look at. I'll do a spreadsheet and a Word document, so I can then work out what I've added, what I've completed, and then I can then write down exactly what I've done and what video ideas I've got after that. Chances are that's going to go up, might go down. It depends on how active I am in the 4 weeks that I'm away up in Rotherham. But Rapper and Flash themes at this point would take a break because they're on my Windows 7 virtual machine and I'll need my iMac. Can't really trust myself to take that all the way up to Rotherham. I'd have nowhere to put it, for one thing. So I think it'd be a good idea if I just leave it here. Unless I can find a way to then take it up. And just remember not to take so much. I mean, I might be able to rest it on my clothes, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated on that. Speaking of virtual machines, I'm going to still do my betas, but I'm going to put them on my 2017 iMac, so that way I can then use both iMacs. I've got a reason then to use both of my productive iMacs. My 2017 and my 2019 iMacs are meant to both be productive. My 2019 replaced my late 09, so I was a bit gutted when that packed up. But I'm going to set up a virtual machine. That's what the Yosemite virtual machine looks into. I can then look at any games that I might have that will run perfectly on something like Yosemite, but not so well on the newer systems. And then they'll be split into eras, so I can then do older than Windows 95 and do DOS on that, Windows 9X and use the specs for that, and Windows XP and newer. They can also test the Windows 11 build on that and see if that works, and if it does, I'll do a separate one for Windows 10 and 11, because then I can do something like, excuse me, I had a bit of something to eat earlier and it's made me a bit gassy. Apologies for that. But I'll test out a Windows 10 virtual machine and do Windows 11, do a Windows 11 build and see what will become of that and see what results I get. If it works, I'll put that in as a separate machine as well. Again, I'll keep you updated on what goes on. Now, recently I've started uploading to TikTok. I've started re-uploading to TikTok, and I've uploaded my recent Battle of the Buses video to Facebook. And what I plan to do is start uploading those to each one. So I'll upload to YouTube first, and then I'll do a premiere on certain uploads, the ones that are considered most important. This will be premiered tonight at 25 past 10, because I always do a 5-minute countdown, so in which case then we always make sure that my videos themselves start at bang on 10:30. Then I'll upload it to TikTok, then I'll upload it to Facebook, and then I'm going to trial out an upload to Instagram and see if that works, and if it does, brilliant. If not, well, I'll keep on trying, but I'll do something under 10 minutes, because I've read somewhere that you can only do up to 10 minutes on Instagram, or 60 for certain accounts. So we'll have a look into that and see what befalls of my uploading to Instagram. But some of my external hardware needs replacing. My external super drive, the one that I had on my 2019 iMac, I had to get rid of that because a disk got stuck in the drive. But I need to replace that, otherwise I won't be able to run The Sims, because all the games of The Sims I've got require the disk. So without that I won't be able to play The Sims. But I also plan to get, not only do I plan to get 2 external super drives for each iMac, one for each iMac, but I also plan to get 2 external floppy drives, again one for each iMac. And what I might do on the 2017 iMac, the one that's running Ventura, what I do plan to do is, if I ever do need to make notes as to what's going on, I plan to use that as my auto cue, so I then know exactly what I'm talking about and I don't have to worry about long pauses. That will only happen on the bits I've researched at my deepest, while still trying to keep the atmosphere as pleasant and fun and enjoyable as I possibly can. I just want to make sure that I'm talking sense, unlike what's happening now. Oh dear, I can't seem to speak. I need to get matching. I plan to get matching Magic peripherals for my 2017 iMac. So I've got a Magic keyboard and a Magic mouse, which I've linked to my 2019 iMac. I plan to do the same for my 2017 as well. I've got an Apple keyboard, which if I can get that to work, I'll put that on my late. I'll put that towards my late 06, and then I've got a wired mouse as well, which I plan to use there as well. And I need to replace the office chairs as well as replacing the printer, so at least then I'll be able to print stuff out. That way I'll be able to print my notes out. Any new notes that I make. I'm going to do some new artwork, and the picture that I've shown here, that's how I plan to do it. So I've removed the background. I'll get Copilot to remove the background on that, and I'll do a choice of 4, and I'll put up a poll to see which one is your favourite, which one you would go for, and I'll go with the majority. But I do plan to do neon themes with the artwork, but I'll have it also so that the text speaks out. And in the artwork, I plan then to put relevant bits around it. So, for example, in my maths program, I might do some arithmetic and just work everything out that way. And it's going to be a fun one to look at. Do keep your eyes peeled as to what I've got going on, and yeah, you'll be in for a treat. Well, that sort of wraps everything up, and as I say, do keep tuned for everything that I've mentioned here and more, and you get to see how I continue to thrive as a channel, and I'll just keep on planning and researching into bits as well, so then that way I can be fresh and current at the same time. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.